So welcome everyone. Once again, this is Kevin from CSMI today doing part 3 on the VLV articulated dump truck. So part 1 and 2 we spoke about the truck itself. In this one we're going through some functions on the radio and the operation and the start sequence. So as usual, if you have any questions or comments, leave it in the section below, or you can email us at info@csmi.com.au. You can buy this truck or any of the models in our video from the website, and there will be a link in the description. So let's get straight into it. Now, when you power the truck up with a 3S LiPo battery, the lights and the beacons come on. You can see the beacons actually flashing and rotating up there. And the radio, it's very important that all these switches are away from you. You can see I've purposely kept this one switch pointing towards me, and I'll show you what happens when you actually power the radio up. So let's go up here, and it actually gives you a warning saying that place all the switches switch position, place all the switch positions where they need to be. And what we're going to do is we're going to push this up, and you'll see it actually goes to the start sequence. So now that the radio is on, it's transmitting a signal to it. You cannot switch this radio off unless you pull the battery out. So that's kind of a safety function inside it. So I'm going to try to switch the radio off, and you'll see what happens. So it says turn off. I'm going to hit OK, and the radio doesn't turn off. That's because it says to depower the receiver, which is in the truck. So you need to take the battery out first, and only then you can power the radio off. All right, so as far as functions go, the top dial switch, which is spring loaded, one on either side. This one is used for the start and the stop of the truck, and this one is used for the dump function. There is a switch at the back also. This also powers the hydraulic motor. The left joystick and the movement left and right hand side activate the light. And here's a funny thing, the truck will not go forward and backwards, just like the real thing, unless the engine is running, which means you need to start the truck, and only then you'll get forward and reverse motion. The right hand joystick is steering, which is hydraulically activated. So let's go first and start the engine and show you the horn. So this is the horn, and then you got the start sequence. So it's a quick flick and release because it's spring loaded. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to stop the truck now. There you go. And I'm going to start it. Okay, so that's the engine starting. So now, if you go forward, this is for forward and reverse. I got to be careful because I don't want to get the truck out of the trolley. So I'm going to go forward. Okay, I think I've got my ESC is beeping because of the battery. Could be, I'm not sure, but I could hear that beep in the background. Alright, so let's go. Next is the hydraulic function. I'm going to use the right spring-loaded switch to actually move it up. So you move the switch inward, it goes up. And there you go, it goes down again. While it's up, I'm going to show you a bit of detail, what's inside the chassis and the construction, so those of you who are interested can actually see that. Okay, let's get the camera a little bit more closer. So pretty good construction. As you can see in the last video, I told you the chassis and the build quality is pretty robust, it's sturdy, it's detailed, and the paint quality on it is just amazing. There's no blemishes anywhere on this, and there's fine details like stoppers for the load bar on the differentials. This thing is solid steel, which is hooked up with the tailgate, and the tailgate opens up using that methodology of the pivot point up here, and then the tailgate opens and closes using simple mechanism. Pretty big cylinders. Bring it up here so you can see the drive shaft inside. you can see the gloss of the paint or the reflection in the frame on the paintwork itself. So that's where the oil tank is, and what I've done is I've just actually pulled this breather line and filled the oil into the tank directly. A lot more easier to do it. This is just 3D printed the exhaust pipe, but you can't put oil into the tank via that exhaust pipe. I tried and probably filled it up with oil, so just be mindful of that. And then you got the bracket up there for the beacon. So quite simple, nothing super duper in this model in terms of functionality. You do have just a tipping function, forward, reverse, and the articulation. I'm going to see if I do the steering, there's a good chance it's going to come off. Or let's go slightly back. Yeah, there isn't any room for me to show you the steering function, guys, but it's pretty straightforward because the trolley isn't big enough and the front wheel will come off and it'll create a mess. But what I'm going to do is put the tipper down using the right hand switch, and I'm just going to show you the light function. So let's spin this over. Okay, so let's see if I can get the whole thing in. Okay, there you go. Now, using the right hand switch, every time you flick it, it goes through its sequence of lights, and when you power the battery, the lights actually come on. So I'm going to go 1. So that's function 1. Function 2. Function 3. 3 functions basically, and then there is a hazard on the right hand side. I don't think there's any other functions on the right hand side. There, the hazard goes off, hazard comes on, function 1, function 2, function 3, and hazard goes off. So pretty straightforward, nothing high tech or complicated. And I'll try to see if you can see any detail inside the cab. You've got a steering wheel, you've got a driver. It looks pretty impressive. So as usual, that's all that we have in this particular video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them out. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. This is Kevin from CSMI in Australia. Thank you for watching.